I literally am hanging out with the Avengers here in the backstage, and we're going to be chatting to them, learning various things. I'd like to invite my first panel up to stage, right? And these are some really amazing people working at 5FM as well. I get like about 1,000 songs a week. But these guys are going to teach us how to stand out. They're going to teach us how to be noticed, and most importantly, teach us how to get our music onto these platforms. So without much further ado, she's probably one of the most hard-hitting, honest people that I've ever come across. She's a PR guru, and she holds her own. She's just won numerous awards this year already. Please put your hands together for Farah Fortune. All right, my next panelist, right? He's the music compiler for 5FM. He goes by the name Lesiba. Please put your hands together for him. Our last speaker for this panel, probably one of the most trailblazing people in the country. Started the Crew Squatter Camp. Do you guys know who I'm talking about? He started a platform that all of you guys are submitting your music to, because what he wanted to do was also open up the industry. So he knows what's hot, he knows what works, and who knows what doesn't. Please put your hands together for Slikour. I think a lot of up-and-coming artists, when they want to get their music out or actually start their careers, there's a couple of mistakes that guys make immediately. What are those things that you've noticed and gone, yeah, like, okay, like, you could do this a bit different to get noticed?
When you submit your music, you have, I mean, not him alone. There are usually people, there's like a board, they all sit, they all listen, but everything goes through him. And people tend to constantly try and get hold of people like them. And you can imagine there's probably 200 people a day that are probably doing the same thing as you're doing. And they feel like they're being disrespected because no one's getting back to them. And it's hard to get back to 200 people a day. So give them time. I think that's the one thing. Give them time, understand there's a process to this. Make sure you submit properly. But if you can grow your hype before you even submit, you've already put yourself, you know, 1 point higher than the next guy who's trying to call him as well. Print your CD properly. Professionalism is everything. And if you start off properly and you start off right, people will notice those little things. And you think they're not important, but they are really important. People take note of the aesthetic part of your music. It's not how great you are a rapper. It's all about how you package who and what you are.
Now, Liz, talking about packaging, right? What's the right way for up-and-coming artists like these guys to send you that music? Because maybe sometimes they're sending you a link to go somewhere. What's the easiest way?
With 5FM, it's slightly different because we are in a digital era. So there is a specific email that we do actually give out to the people, which is playlist@5fm.co.za, where you can actually submit your music wherever you are in the world. We're moving into a digital space. So there are a couple of requirements that one actually needs to follow in order to make sure that we do actually get to that submission, but that's not a guarantee that obviously the track will be playlisted. First of all, you need to send me a link. Make sure that your track is a radio edit, preferably if it can be 3.5 minutes. Attach your artwork, which is basically linked to the single itself. Your bio, because obviously you might be new and we don't know anything about you. That will kind of give us an idea where you are going and where you are. Quality is also important. I'm talking about 128 kilobits per second. And make sure that whenever you do send that stuff to me, you do also attach a 5 megabyte, less than 5 megabytes. That will help me basically reference, because as my colleagues here have said, that we get dozens and dozens of submissions. So for me, that will actually help me get through the tracks quicker. And I'll also add to the fact that not getting back to you is not us not giving a damn. If I have to now sit and respond to the 200 emails that I've received on that day, I won't have enough time to listen to the new submissions that do actually come in.
We're living in a digital age, and you noticed quite early that, you know what, yes, the music needs to go out on radio, we need to print this on CDs, but let's open up a new lane. Tell us a bit about what inspired the actual beginning of Slikour on Live.
There weren't enough platforms that literally can that can actually consume music. You know, what people don't understand also is that even if 5FM played everybody's songs, there's not enough hours in the day to play everyone's songs, you know? So we have a responsibility to create different avenues and different entry points and different entry mechanisms, which literally talk to the world we at today. I gotta look at like your digital engagement, right? Wait. I gotta firstly think that it's dope. The danger of having one ear, in my opinion, boxes you. So we got almost like, even the kids that work at Slikour Live, we got 3 content people. So we gotta like the song as a team, right? B, I gotta go, if you don't have a name, let me just see how your digital engagement is like. That's on your Facebook, your Twitter, your social. C, if your digital engagement is good, that means that like you are constant with that and you've built your audience, right? You get to an interview through your consistency and through like us seeing that actually people are actually trying to talk to you and they can't get you anywhere. Now we believe that if we can, like the way I wouldn't say we discovered Nasty. Hey guys, there's a whole new generations like of artists, and so for us, all those things are the boxes to tick for us to go, yeah. Because people think you can drop a song on digital, it's easy. It is, but are people messing with you? And are you driving people to actually engage with you?
If you do all the things that he's listed and you make enough noise, it will pretty much get to us because we follow him as well and watch every single artist that goes through his site so that we can pretty much pick up the best from it. And like you said, Nasty happened to be one of them.
We know the song, but now you need to sell your song. What are the things that I need to look out for as an up-and-coming artist, or that I need to equip myself when I eventually get that interview and that limelight?
They let themselves be bigger than the limelight. And I think that's the one thing you have to remember. You have fans, and the only reason you are famous is because of those fans. The only reason that clubs are booking you is because of those fans. So ultimately, no matter what you do, when you release a single, when you do an interview, it's all about your fans all the time. One thing they need to remember is that they have to be engaging. Whether it's, you know, doing a Twitter interview, whether it's on radio, whether it's in a magazine, it has to be engaging. And it's not just, people want to know who you are. You can't keep everything just about the music because that doesn't help. There needs to be something that's relatable. So find what your niche is. What will keep them going if they're no longer releasing music? Why would people still want to be in touch? Because ultimately your career is a very short-lived career. And once your music career is finished, you need to make sure you've made enough money to be able to either invest somewhere else or live off it for the rest of your life. So when it comes to interviews, you have to make sure that you're relatable. People are talking to you and engaging with you. The reason people don't pick up likes or followers on social media because they have no engagement. They're constantly putting out information to people, but they're not talking to someone in order for them to be spoken back to. There's no engagement there. Whatever you do in that 30 minutes, an hour that you're having that interviewer needs to walk away from that and relate everything you've said in the best possible light in order to make sure that when somebody wants to buy that magazine and read all about you, and walk away from there thinking, I understand you. Even if I'm not sure about your music, I understand you.
You got to decide whether you want to make music or you want to be a successful musician. That's all it is. Do you want to make music? You can. You know, you want to be a successful musician? That's another thing. I mean, being a successful musician sometimes requires you to do things below the celebrity profile you have, you know? You sometimes need to listen. You sometimes need to go speak to people. That's the hardest part of music. Even Jay-Z said that the easiest part is getting in the studio. The hard part is going out for free. You know, you can go to a gig, yeah, and you're getting paid, it's nice. But when you're going there for free and you're gonna be in the sun and you have to deal with people, it's the photo throughout. Casper said, I'm going to Durban because I know what I'm going up against. And that's a guy who literally is going, I don't want to just make music, I want to be a successful musician.
And I think just to sum it up, Stop it with the ego. The ego is not going to get you anywhere else. Work quietly. Make sure that you do a bit of research when it comes to your stuff as well. I mean, I'll just give you an example, is that find out like how every single radio station operates. Every radio station has its target and it plays different types of music. You cannot send me a gospel song, whereas we are a contemporary hit radio station. Understand that when you come to us, you need to have been like a fully fledged product. There are platforms that will definitely give you an opportunity when you are starting out. Like Slikour has actually mentioned, you've got your YFMs. Build your profile. Build it so much that you put pressure on us that when you actually come to those national stations, you've already created enough buzz that we don't even have to think twice in terms of like putting your song on.
If you're an artist out there, he said something about like building your profile. Start documenting. Take screenshots of how many people engaged. If radio played you and you did an interview at some station, record all those things, put them down, because that's what we used to do, because by the time you go to 5FM, you go to Metro, you the one that's missing out. You know what I mean? You don't go, no, guy, everywhere, there were 10,000 people. No, no one gives a damn about that. Document. What changes the world is numbers. So artists also need to stop thinking about the numbers they're going to make in money and start thinking about the numbers that are engaging them for free. Documentation of everything that happens. Take screenshots of how many people followed, listen to your tags. When you're on radio or social media, you dropped a song, how many people streamed it. Screenshot that. Numbers are going to change your life.
Just to give you a tip, there's just in terms of PR, a lot of time people think you have to really make it big before you can afford a publicist or anything else. That's true. So I'm going to give you, I'm lying, but I'm going to give you a tip just on how to get past thinking that you need to come to people like me all the time. I don't want to put myself out of money here, but in all honesty, you need to invest in your career. There's something called a media list, okay? So the media list can cost you about, I think, up to 8 grand a year. That's basic. But it gives you an email address of every media person, from editor till the person answering the phones at every publication and every radio station in the country. Okay? That media list does cost money, but if you get that, you can get hold of your playlist manager's emails on there, or you can go on the websites and find it. However, if you're looking for interviews, that's where you need to go. Go and buy the media list. Put together with 5 of your friends that are trying to do the same thing you're doing. Break up your costs, but get hold of that. When you're looking, exactly what Slikour said now in terms of getting hold of content and making sure you're putting everything together, your bios, your profiles, whatever it is that you need, buy this list. Start sending it out. Create your own hype.
Guys, Farah Fortune, Lesiba, as well as my man Slikour, thank you so much. Please put your hands together for them.